So hello and welcome to the Lewis Nichols Show, and I'm really excited to have my guests back on the show. They were on last year and they're back this year with an incredible album. Let's say hello to Reggie N Bollie. How are you?
Hey guys, we're good.
Good to have you back on. I mean, we obviously spoke last year, we did an interview, and I knew that an album was kind of on the cards, but I didn't expect it to be like it is. I mean, it literally is your best work yet, which I think's a real statement, because you've done this completely independently. And I know that you've had a lot of love. So were you a little bit skeptical at the first, you know, putting this album out there with another lockdown in regards to not being able to tour it and promote it?
Yeah, I mean, when we initially, the album was supposed to be out last summer, and you know, due to this whole COVID thing, we had to move it, and we then decided, you know what, if we say we're going to keep pushing it, then we're going to have too many songs to shortlist from. And then secondly, you know, music is just like fashion, so it can also feel a bit dated, because let's say we release this album 2 years from now, the sound might have changed and everything. So we're like, you know what, let's just go with it. There are people, most of our fans kept asking us for new music, and we just didn't want to keep on bringing singles when the whole album was ready. So we're like, yeah, let's give it to them. And the love, like you said, has been crazy. We're so grateful for all the support so far.
I mean, you've been quite generous with the amount of songs on this album as well, because I mean, 12, and you just thought, right, we're nearly going to double that. Was it a case of kind of, you had so many good tracks and there was none that you could kind of think, no, you know, we're going to leave this off the album? Was it a case of that you had too much good material that you didn't want to leave anything, you know, off it?
I would say usually when we go to studio to record, we go with the mindset of doing a single lead, like a song that can lead an album, or a song that can potentially be like, you know, a lead single. So basically when we finished recording all the songs, we just sat down throughout the listening session. Like you said, every single song on there deserves to be in the forefront. So we couldn't afford to leave it out. Plus, the last album we did was in 2017. So we felt like with all these tracks, we're in 2021 now. So we might as well give the fans loads to choose from rather than try and hold back. So that's why we piled up everything, and we were like, you know what, let's give them everything we have now. Because Reggie said,
one other reason is how diverse our fan base is. You know, like we've got fans from the UK, from Africa, from Brazil, from the US, and all of that. And so what we realized is sometimes when you do the song and target just one demographic or one aspect of your fan base, you end up disappointing the others who also, you know, are rooting for you and supporting you. So we thought, you know what, let's make this album in a way that, you know, if a typical African picks the album, they will have a song or two they like. If our European fans pick up the album, they will have, you know what I mean? And so, and we can tell it is working very well, because the different types of fans we have, those who like commercial music, those who love underground music, everyone has got a choice, and it is really beautiful. Yeah.
I mean, well, you know, probably from me sharing it on my Insta, that Blessings is my
oh man, tell me about it. Honestly,
incredible.
It is actually one of our favorite songs. That's why it started the album, innit?
Yeah. Do you know, I mentioned it last year with you guys, and I think it's a testament to you both as artists, because most people have the first album and that's the best, and then you kind of got to live up to that. And like I said at the beginning of this this chat, this is genuinely, I feel, your best work. You've come back better and stronger than ever, and everything that you are as an artist, you put, you know, into this material. You must look back and kind of be happy and proud of what you've done, because like you said, you've catered for everyone, and it genuinely is your best work.
Thank you, thank you. That means a lot. That means, like you said, you know, we're really proud of this body of work. Because, like Reggie said earlier, we were trying to make sure that everyone that picks the album has got something, you know, regardless being an Afrobeat fanatic or hip hop fanatic or dancehall fanatic. Because Reggie and Bollie is about versatility. So when they pick the album, if you are a dancehall head or if you're a pop head or Afro pop head, there is something in there for you. Because when we come to Reggie and Bollie, we try to serve all of our fans, you know, the European fans, the African ones, and everyone. So we're really proud that, you know, we put out a body of work that serves every aspect of the fan base.
And you've got a lot of people that you've worked with on the album as well. We can see various artists that have, you know, taken part. Are you happy with, you know, were there people that you wanted to take part that couldn't, or did you have everyone that was kind of on your wish list?
Okay, so I think with this album, what from the onset, what we said to ourselves is, you know what, Reggie and Bollie as artists who were, you know, we've always been around. We've done music in Ghana before relocating to the UK, but the whole world got to see us or hear about us from the X Factor. And so when after the X Factor, our first album, we had a couple of collaborations, you know, from Beanie Man, Two-Face from Africa, and, you know, the UK and stuff like that. So what we wanted to achieve with this album is to kind of make a statement that, you know what, we can do with all the support and all the hype the big machine brings. And we can also do with all the features, the big Grammy Award winning artists and all of that. But as artists, we are very capable of writing our own songs and, you know, I mean, controlling our own affairs. So for us, like, this album was more about showing what we are about, because, you know, you've been in the game for a long time. A lot of times artists who are discovered through talent shows tend to not have that credibility that artists who came through the non-talent show route. And we are like, you know what? We want to do an album that people will pick up and be like, rah, like maybe anyone who saw us on the X Factor and thought, oh yeah, they just had it easy. Now they'll be like, wait a minute, these guys really know what they're about. So that's why this time around we just featured just a few people, and most of the tracks were, you know, our full composition. And I must say we're really proud even to have written a song for someone like Omi, Cheerleader, you know, and other bigger songwriters that we worked with on our previous album.
And like I said, I think that's why it's so important to mention it. You've done this, or it's not like a big label that you've got behind. This is all, everything about this album is you. And I think that's kind of, it's really come through on this. But I guess for you now, when restrictions are lifted, you just want to get out there and perform this music live and actually connect with the fans. Because I know that's a massive part of, you know, you two as artists, is actually that connection you have with the fans.
Yeah, it's one aspect that, you know, it's really like frustrating to know that we've got this album out, but then again, due to the pandemic, we can't really go out there and interact with the fans and let them, you know, have a feel of what we've done. But what we're keeping fingers crossed for is that, you know, we're going to use the social media platforms as much as possible until things get better. So when we get back on the road, we know that we've connected to them virtually, but we'll be there in physical aspects, you know, to give them the live shows. But by the time we get there, they've already listened to most of the tracks on the album and have got an idea of what we're about to do.
What I love is,
I mean, the good thing is we already have about over 30 dates booked in from summer, I think from June or July. So we just have to keep our fingers crossed that this virus leaves us alone, and then we can, you know, hit the road and just give the music lovers and everyone who loves Reggie and Bollie some, you know, fun on stage.
what I love is the fact that the time that you chose to release this, it's kind of like you've gone into the new year and almost gifted us. You know, we've had a bad 2020, let's move forward. And then you've given us just such positive vibes with this. Was that the kind of intention with the release date?
Yeah, 100%. We just felt like initially, after we moved it from the summer, we wanted to release it in December. But then, you know, upon further deliberation, we were like, you know what, let's have a fresh start. new year, new vibe. Let's start with clarity. You know, like it's been a mad year for people in the creative arts. People are losing their jobs. You know, loads of people losing their lives and everything. And you know, we just wanna start this year fresh, our minds clear. Now we know what we are doing. It's not like we are still under lockdown, but no one is panicking as much as we did during the first one. And also, you know, just embrace the experience and say, you know what, this is life. We might not always get it right, but so long as we've got life, let's just, you know, make the best out of it.
And you know, I think another thing about you both as artists, which I love, is when you're on social media, you get a lot of artists that will only put out professional things or just their strict work life, but you incorporate your family and everything. And I think that's why people connect to you so well, because you post like adorable pictures of your family and places that you've been to. And I think that's just what, you know, makes people warm to you. And that's probably why you've got a lot of love for this album, definitely.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, at the end of the day, we are family men. And, you know, like, in our field of work, people, like you said, a lot of celebs think, oh, you know what, the people are only there to consume my music, that's it. But people these days want to connect with brands that they feel they know and, you know, they can trust and support. So for us, like letting you know our life is not only music, but we are normal family men, you know, taking care of our kids and wife, doing their school rounds and everything. I think makes people know, yeah, we're because from day one, everyone who knows Reggie N Bollie know we are mostly just normal, average, you know, people. We don't want that kind of over the top sort of thing. And I'm glad, like you said, a lot of people are connecting with us on that human basis, which is more important.
Yeah, because I mean, when you take away the music, I mean, not constantly, people can't just follow you constantly just for the music. Sometimes they want to know what you're up to as well. When you take away the artist side of things, you understand? So it's good to kind of like give them a different perspective aside just the music and the artistry.
Well, guys, honestly, thank you so much for coming on the show. We're going to play tracks from the album on the radio show as well, but it's out now on all platforms for people to get. And I'll be looking forward to I know you'll be back on the show again in the near future. So thank you so much.
And next in the future, I'm really hoping we can actually sit with you in the same studio. I know we said it the other time, but we really mean it. For us to sit down and, you know, just have a proper chat and, you know, like, hopefully if we've got a show in your city, that will be even a topper.
Amazing.
Amazing. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having us. We really appreciate this. Thank you.
Thank you, Lewis. Yeah. All the